What's up, guys? Tim Little. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video, we're hitting the road. We're gonna take you along for a day of fishing. It is a warm 20 degrees out. The rod lockers are frozen on the old Skeeter, but should be a good day. Gonna be doing some wintertime fishing in the river. So hopefully we can catch some nice smallmouth, maybe come across some largemouth, but stick around, should be a good one. All right, guys, got the boat launched, got the rod lockers open, defrosted. Well, not defrosted, but open. They're probably frozen shut again. But out on the water, they're pumping a lot of current. Bluebird skies. Yesterday we had a storm roll through, so gonna be post-frontal conditions. Tough conditions, but we're gonna grind it out. We're gonna see if we can catch some fish. But wintertime fishing, like I said this morning, it was 20 degrees. I think it's like 27 degrees now that I got the boat in the water. But got swim baits and drop shots and chatter baits and crank baits and all sorts of stuff. So hopefully we don't really have to finesse. Hopefully in these currents we can find some eddies, find some current seams, and find the fish piled up. You know, they're dumping water out of the lake above, so hopefully that'll get those fish going, and that'll override kind of the post-frontal cruddy weather conditions. So enough talking, let's go. All right, guys, first stop, ran up to the first real big current break. Just looked at discharge. They've upped it 25,000 CFS, so from the last hour. So it's gonna be pumping. Hopefully that'll generate these fish to be wanting to feed up. I'm not sure how long it'll last, but got a little current seam right here, main river current right there. They should be stacked right along here. All right, guys, been up here for about 15-20 minutes. They have all gates open on the spillway. They are pumping a ton of current, and the water is really, really muddy. So I'm gonna go ahead and change out some of my baits on my A-rig. Probably gonna go white or chartreuse blue, just to get a little bit better visibility in this muddied water. But lots of current generating. Hopefully we can find some fish up here on these current seams and around in this slack water. Yeah, keep going. Made a little adjustment to white and chartreuse blue. Got those Demiki Armor Shads as my dummies. Kitech 3.8s. That should give a lot more visibility in this murked up water. On the board with a little spotty. Got that thing choked. Thanks, bud.
Have any luck?
One small one, you?
We just got here.
Yeah, they're pumping a lot of water.
Yeah, I seen it. You're up high.
So I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but the water's really high. They opened those gates. Now all this wood, all these trees are in the water. Looks like it's a 2 or 3 feet high than full pool. Should put these fish up in this stuff, but you never know. So a lot of times when the water's up this high, up into the trees, over rocks, the water's not normally over, those fish are gonna pull, especially smallmouth, they're gonna pull right up in that stuff. The perfect bait would be a spinnerbait. Of course I didn't bring one today, but just trying to throw that little finesse, that mini rig, that kind of with the finesse swim baits on there, some blades. But yeah, these fish are gonna pull up into that stuff, get right into that cover, and that spinnerbait, you can just pick your lanes, and it's fairly weedless and it works really, really well. But hopefully we can pick some more up on the A-rig. Got that one nice little river spot, but not what we're after today. So hopefully we can catch some big smallmouth. Another little river spotty. Alright guys, so we got 2 fairly small river spots. Still no smallmouth, no largemouth. This river is pumping. Got a little marina over here. There's a guy actually back here crappie fishing, so I'm gonna give him his distance, his space, but I'm gonna kind of fish this open area. There's a current seam right here. The river comes right down through here. There's a nice little backwater eddy for these fish to get out of the current. So they're gonna slow down, pick this apart, and see if there's some fish sitting in here. Again, I'll give him the space, distance to crappie fish, but try and fish this flat out here. Pick up some of these fish that might be out of the current. Well, we found whites and spots. Come on, bud. You got it. Thanks, bud. It's a fish, just the wrong species. I figured there'd be fish pulled up on this current seam. Just happens to be the wrong type. Spots mixed in with whites. Where smallies. Look at this guy. Figured there'd be some bass mixed in, but it's like a bass, only smaller. All I'm doing, I'm taking this BFS setup, throwing this 2.8 on a guppy head right on that current seam, letting it hit bottom, and then slow rolling it. Those fish are stacked right on that current seam. Seem to be the wrong size or the wrong species. Couple more casts, we'll make a move. The little BFS setup, you can throw this swim bait farther than you can on a spinner rod. And then you can fish it on a bait caster. So much fun. All right, let's make a move. All right, guys. I think we're gonna go ahead and run back up river, get into that current, slow down, and kind of fish the little guppy head, fish the swim baits in that current, and see if we can pick up some bigger smallmouth. They should be in that current eating. These fish are right where they should have been, just the wrong species. So we're gonna go ahead and make a run and see if we can put some big smallmouth in the boat. That was a largemouth. I don't know what he's doing up here. All right, finally got a smallie. Thanks, dude. Nice little river smallie. That's good. So I'm back up here. I lost that largemouth just, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago or so. Right on that current seam, kind of dropped down this current. Now I'm just kind of fan casting out here. That one knocked slack in my line, just reeling. All of a sudden my bait just disappears. Swung into that guy speeding towards the boat, but finally got the right species in the boat. Again, nice little largemouth that I dumped at the boat. So that's a largemouth that I didn't get in the boat but hooked, a smallmouth, and 3 or 4 little spots. But hopefully we're on to something. Don't know where the big ones are. You know, a lot of times they'll pull up big groups, feed, pull off, scatter. And I think they're scattered right now. I'm seeing 1 and 2 and 1 fish just out here roaming the flat. I think I'm gonna go in here to more of the slack water and see if we can finesse them and see maybe if there's some big ones sitting up there just out of the current that haven't pulled into it to feed. I don't know, we'll see. Missed him. Switch things up. I went and dropped that that shad-shaped worm down there on a drop shot. Just dragging along, got heavy. 2 head shakes came off, but that was literally the second cast with the drop shot. So maybe they're just in a funky mood. They want that small finesse presentation. Got him on the drop shot. Nice river smallie. I need your grandma, dude. Thanks, bud. Super finesse-y presentation. Talked about it in the intro. I was hoping that these current conditions would overpower the post-frontal meh conditions, but seems like the finesse, that's 3 casts, 2 bites. Probably gonna stick with this for a little while. There we go, finally a nice smallmouth. Thanks, dude. All right, guys, gonna call it a day. Losing light. Beautiful day out on the river. Unforeseen conditions, right? With this, I mean, it's super high water. The trees are in the water. They got all the gates open, just dumping. But fairly tough day. You know, that's fishing, right? But the key today was running the same patterns, right? Running those eddy lines, those current breaks. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with an eddy, the main current, the main river's going this way. If you have like a rock outcropping or you have like a little point, when that current wraps around that, it's gonna create like a swirly kind of, that is the eddy. And that's where those fish are gonna sit, because it's gonna bring all the bait, all the stuff to them so they can feed. So a lot of times they're gonna be sitting right on that eddy or on that seam line. They're not gonna be in the current unless there's like rocks or something they can kind of get behind, and they don't have to exert all their energy just being up there in the current. Smallmouth are crazy. Sure, you can catch them way up there. I've never been up there. I don't want to run it right now with not knowing if there's boulders or anything up there, but I guarantee you there's giant smallmouth and striper up there in that white water. But finished the day with that nice smallie. Finally got a nice one. Man, those little spots and that smallie, the largemouth up there, that's kind of weird. But and then the white bass, you know, there was definitely fish where there should have been. Just today they weren't the right species. And in the past, I know we've taught, you know, catch through those white bass. A lot of times you'll catch them, especially on chick, you'll catch, you know, the largemouth mixed in with them. But today was a grind. Picked up a handful of rods. Main rod was gonna be that A-rig. I went with some white baits on it, because with all this current, the water's almost like mud. So I went with white. I did have a chartreuse blue to start off. Even that was hard to see, so I went straight up with that white. Caught a few fish on that. Caught the big one on a 3.3 Kitech on a Cool Baits underspin. You know, I went back and forth in my mind. I'm like, man, I'm catching fish on white. I'm catching fish on the A-rig. I caught a bunch of white bass on the on just the little guppy down there on that marina where that water was slack and slow. But in that current, man, the visibility was so bad. I wanted to go with something with some flash, so I went with that little underspin right there, and finally caught a nice smallmouth. But what else? Man, I tried single swim baits, I tried bigger A-rigs, I tried, oh, the drop shot. I did catch a couple, not sure where it's at. I did catch a couple once I decided to slow down, get off that A-rig, get off that reaction bite, and just kind of flip out that shad-shaped worm. I don't know if I have, oh, got him right here. It's a real finesse bait, and believe it or not, they can see it in this water. So real, that's that 3-inch shad-shaped worm, Yamamoto. It's a great little drop shot bait if you're imitating shad. But again, I think I could have done really well with like a white or a white and chartreuse spinnerbait up in the flooded brush, along the current seams, along the little rock outcroppings in the backwaters, little tail waters of the eddy. But had a limit, real small limit, but that's fishing, right? So gonna put the boat on the trailer and head home. Got a storm, another storm coming in tonight, but it's been getting pounded with rain and storms. But today was an interesting day. Ended up in the bibs, the jacket for most of the day. Ended up taking it off and going with the Reaper here towards the last couple hours. But just a cold day all day today. But grinded it out. I've talked about this in the past. When fishing is tough, don't cycle through 20 or 30 baits, right? I know your mind, at least my mind, likes to wander. I bet I can catch them on this, I bet I can do this, I bet I can go there. But stick with your confidence baits. You guys know that I have a ton of confidence in our little mini flex rig. Catches fish all throughout the country, catches big ones. And then an underspin. You know, what doesn't eat an underspin? And then, yeah, the little guppy head. I just real small finesse baits, the A-rig, something with some flash, the underspin with some flash, and those were kind of my go-tos. Every once in a while I picked up the jerk bait or the tactical crank just to check and see if I could speed crank them or rip them through the eddies. But again, it was just that grinder of a day. Underspin, A-rig, drop shot. That's what put the fish in the boat. Guys, if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. I'll try to get to those as soon as possible. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys on the next video.